I'm Joe Misich with Nebula Solutions Group. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a SAP app called Schedule Production. This is an app that's going to allow you to take already created production orders and planned orders for that matter and go ahead and schedule them based on capacity. If you've used SAP before, not familiar with the new apps, this is very similar to what you would have done in CM25. It's a little different in that you don't have the flexibility, you don't have all of the scheduling parameters you would have been able to use. But for a quick, take a selection of orders, perhaps a week's worth of orders for a single production line, get them dispatched and scheduled for an initial starting point, this is perfect. For those of you that have used CM25, as we see on the screen here, the same function happens in this new app in Fiori. There's some big differences. It's really about the level of control that you have. Probably the biggest difference is the strategy you're able to use. If you're familiar with this, CM25 gives you very fine control about how things get dispatched. For example, you can do setup optimization where I am going to use a certain set of tooling and that takes a fair amount, maybe a couple of hours to set up. You could have the system automatically group those things together to optimize that setup time so that you run as many orders that you require the same setup through as once. If you need that level of detail, out of the box, the Fiori app is probably not the thing you want to use. Probably better off to use CM25. However, for a lot of people, that's not the case. Just getting these things dispatched, scheduled, then maybe later on take a look at a balancing situation if you've got some overcapacity, especially if maybe sales orders dropped in. Perhaps you're planning in a make-to-stock situation, but you also have some make-to-order that fall in and fill and maybe push you over capacity and you have to do some rescheduling. That is well done within the Fiori apps. As with most Fiori apps, they're very simplified, give you very visual data to allow you to do things fairly quickly. But in a lot of cases, you still may have to go back to the GUI to get all the information. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the new app works within Fiori. All right, let's choose the schedule production tile. And up top here, we'll see our selections. We have a horizon, which we want to look at. Think about, we're going to go ahead and schedule the next week or so of orders. This actually is in the past, so we'll look for anything overdue. Choosing a work assembly, we're happen to look at this one assembly work center. We're going to only look at production orders. We're not going to look at any planned orders, the assumption being we would have already converted everything we were going to make. So let's go ahead and apply this. And we're presented 23 orders here that fit within our horizon and our work center that we selected. You'll see a couple of these show as dispatched already, so meaning someone has already gone ahead and scheduled these. Most show as non-dispatched, which means they were created and converted and scheduled probably as MRP created the planned orders, right? So if we look at the actual schedule, we'll see they're all stacked up here, right? They're scheduled. There was a demand date. These were created against a planned independent requirement, so that just had one date. MRP basically used that date and did some backswitch scheduling, and that's where you came up. So let's go back here and start dispatching a few orders. So let's take this first one here, and we'll go in individually. Okay, so where we have our order with the operation in that work center, presumably this would be our bottleneck operation that we would use for scheduling. Let's go ahead and select one of these available slots. You see this is where we're at, how much we can have. We could choose to deallocate one and put this order there, but we'll just take the one that it suggests for us and go ahead and dispatch it. And you see we've got a success message there. Let's go back here. Okay. Let's do a couple other things here. Now, let's only look at the not dispatched ones, right? So the ones that need dispatched. Now we're down to 19 orders. Let's go ahead and select them all. Let's hit dispatch. And the system will go ahead and dispatch those all. So they're all wiped out. Now there's nothing in the non-dispatched category. I can actually get rid of that and refresh this, and then we'll see them all. All 23 are there. They all show as dispatched. The ones we just did show as unsaved changes because this system allows you to go ahead and dispatch orders, do some scheduling, then take a look at it and decide, does this make sense before you hit save? So let's look at the overview and see what we have. And we'll see now that these orders are now pushed out here. And you'll notice that I've got some as green and some with a stripe here. So let's take a look at our legend and see what that means. And really, these ones here are unsaved. The stripe indicates unsaved. As we saw, there were some that are already dispatched. They're saved. So that's the difference there. Let's go back into our overview here. Let's go ahead and save this. And now we're good. Now you don't see that unsaved issue. So what we've done is we have dispatched all these orders. Go back in our overview, and now everything it shows is this green. They're saved. Do a drop down here to get a better look at. Okay. I hope that gives you an idea of what you can do with this. For those of you who've used CM25 within the GUI, very similar, very trimmed down, not as many options around the strategies, but very functional for you to be able to go ahead and dispatch a group of orders. I hope this video helped you understand what you can do with the Schedule Production app. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Also, if you'd like to see us record some other items from SAP Fiori, let me know that as well, and I'll do our best to get those recorded for you and uploaded. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.